brought forth about emotions and reason not being contrary to one another, however much there was a history that may have suggested such for a period of time. So I want to start by talking about the original vocation of philosophy. The original vocation of philosophy was not really, it didn't have to be pinned, although it did become pinned to the idea of the rational animal, that as human beings we're the rational animal and that reason needs to be prized in very specific ways in order for us to cultivate our highest possibilities as human beings. To the contrary, the original vocation of philosophy really centered, coming through Plato, out of Socrates and through Plato, on care for the soul, or in the Middle Ages that became known in the Latin as the cura animarum, a notion tied to both Greek and Judaic sources, albeit in different ways. So my preliminary suggestion today is that perhaps the best way for philosophy to move forward, philosophy once heralded as the queen of the humanistic sciences, is to go back and retrieve its original vocation. I think philosophy has been doing this already, at least in some strains of it, and perhaps across the board. I don't like to talk across the board since I can only talk about the way in which I was trained in philosophy. But I think this is already being done, so I just want to re-emphasize the point. You know, if philosophy wants to stay alive as a discipline, if it wants to connect with other fields, if it wants to reach toward interdisciplinary conversation and even become transdisciplinary, if it wants to end a contempt